London is known for its haunted churches, where ghostly figures, eerie whispers, and mysterious footsteps have been reported for centuries. Many of these ancient places have dark histories linked to executions, plagues, and tragic events, making them hotspots for paranormal activity. Visitors often feel an unsettling presence, see shadowy apparitions, or hear unexplained sounds, adding to the city's spooky reputation. Now we will visit the most haunted churches in London. Number 1. St. Bartholomew the Great. St. Bartholomew the Great, located in Smithfield, is one of London's oldest churches and is widely believed to be its most haunted. Founded in 1123 as part of a monastery, the church has witnessed centuries of death, executions, and eerie events. Its dark past and chilling atmosphere have led to many ghostly encounters. One of the most famous hauntings is the ghost of a black-robed monk who is often seen walking silently through the church before vanishing into thin air. Many believe he was a medieval monk who met a tragic end. Some visitors have reported cold spots and an overwhelming feeling of sadness when they see his shadowy figure. Another well-known spirit is a mysterious hooded figure seen near the altar. Some claim it is the ghost of a priest who was executed during the Reformation. People have heard unexplained whispers and footsteps echoing through the church, even when no one else is there. The churchyard also has a terrifying history. Smithfield was a site for public executions, including the brutal burning of Protestant martyrs under Queen Mary I. Witnesses have reported seeing phantom flames and hearing distant screams, believed to be echoes of those tortured to death centuries ago. Visitors and staff have also experienced objects moving on their own, sudden chills, and an eerie sensation of being watched. Paranormal investigators have captured strange lights and ghostly voices on recordings, further fueling the church's haunted reputation. With its ancient stone walls, dark history, and spine-chilling encounters, St. Bartholomew the Great remains one of London's most haunted and mysterious places. Would you dare to visit? Number 2. St. Botolph's Church. St. Botolph's Church in Aldgate is one of London's most haunted churches, with a chilling history dating back over 1,000 years. Built in the 10th century, it has stood through plagues, fires, and countless deaths, making it a hotspot for paranormal activity. One of the most famous ghostly sightings is that of a shadowy figure that appears in the churchyard at night. Many believe it is the spirit of a woman who was murdered nearby centuries ago. Witnesses claim to have seen a dark silhouette gliding silently between the gravestones before suddenly vanishing. Inside the church, visitors and staff have reported unexplained whispers and footsteps when no one else is around. Some have even heard their names being called in an eerie, disembodied voice. People often feel an overwhelming sense of unease, as if they are being watched by an unseen presence. Another chilling legend involves the Aldgate Watcher, a ghostly apparition seen peering from the church windows late at night. Some say it is the spirit of a long-dead priest who still watches over the church, while others believe it to be the ghost of a former gravedigger. St. Botolph's also has a history linked to the Jack the Ripper murders. Some of his victims were last seen near the church, leading to rumors that their spirits still linger in the area. Strange lights and misty figures have been spotted moving through the churchyard, adding to its haunted reputation. With its eerie past, ghostly figures, and unexplained phenomena, St. Botolph's Church remains one of the most haunted and mysterious places in London. Would you dare to visit after dark? Number 3. St. Mary le Bow. St. Mary le Bow, located in the heart of Cheapside, is one of London's most historic and haunted churches. Originally built in the 11th century, it has been destroyed and rebuilt multiple times, surviving the Great Fire of London in 1666 and the Blitz bombings of World War II. With such a long and dramatic history, it is no surprise that the church has many ghostly tales. One of the most famous hauntings is that of a shadowy figure seen walking through the church late at night. Many believe it to be the ghost of a monk from medieval times. Some visitors have reported feeling a sudden chill and hearing whispers in Latin, even when the church is empty. Another well-known legend is the ghostly ringing of the Bow bells. St. Mary le Bow is famous for its bells, which traditionally mark a true Cockney if they are born within earshot. However, some say that the bells ring on their own at odd hours, especially in the dead of night, with no one pulling the ropes. Some believe this is the work of spirits trapped within the church. During World War II, a bomb destroyed much of the church, killing people who had taken shelter inside. Since then, there have been reports of ghostly cries and eerie footsteps echoing through the rebuilt church, as if the souls of the dead still linger. Some visitors have also claimed to see a spectral figure dressed in old-fashioned clothing standing near the altar before disappearing into thin air. The presence of these spirits has left many people feeling uneasy, with some even refusing to enter the church alone. With its ghostly figures, mysterious sounds, and tragic past, St. Mary-le-Bow remains one of London's most haunted churches. Would you dare to hear the Bow bells at midnight? Number 4. St. Magnus the Martyr. St. Magnus the Martyr, located near London Bridge, is one of the city's most historic and haunted churches. Built in the 12th century, it has stood for centuries, witnessing fires, plagues, and even executions. With such a dark and tragic history, it is no surprise that ghostly sightings and paranormal activity have been reported here. One of the most famous hauntings is that of a mysterious hooded monk who has been seen walking through the church. Many believe he was a priest from medieval times who died under mysterious circumstances. Witnesses describe seeing his shadowy figure gliding silently through the pews before vanishing into thin air. The church is also linked to the ghosts of London Bridge, which once stood nearby. The old bridge was the site of many gruesome deaths, including public executions and drownings. Some say that spirits of the dead still wander the area, appearing as misty figures near the church entrance. On quiet nights, visitors have reported hearing phantom footsteps and distant screams, as if echoes of the past still linger. Another eerie legend tells of a headless ghost roaming the churchyard. It is believed to be the spirit of a man executed on London Bridge centuries ago. Some have reported feeling an unseen presence following them or hearing whispers in the wind. There are also chilling stories of unexplained organ music playing when no one is at the instrument. Some believe it is the work of a ghostly musician from long ago. Others have heard bells ringing on their own, as if spirits are trying to communicate. With its ghostly monks, haunted history, and eerie sounds, St. Magnus the Martyr remains one of London's most mysterious and terrifying churches. Would you dare to visit after dark? Number 5. St. Sepulchre-without-Newgate. St. Sepulchre-without-Newgate, located in Holborn, is one of the most haunted churches in London with a dark and chilling history. Founded in the 12th century, it has witnessed countless executions, plague deaths, and ghostly occurrences. Its location near the infamous Newgate prison only adds to its eerie reputation. One of the most terrifying legends is the ghostly ringing of the execution bell. This bell was historically rung before executions at Newgate Prison, warning prisoners of their impending deaths. Many claim that even today, the bell sometimes tolls on its own at night, even when no one is near it. Some believe it is a chilling echo of the past, as if the souls of the condemned still linger. Another well-known haunting is that of the Phantom Executioner. This shadowy figure, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, has been seen near the church entrance and inside its dark corners. Some believe he was a former executioner whose spirit cannot rest. People have reported feeling an unseen presence, sudden cold spots, and hearing faint ghostly whispers. The churchyard is also said to be haunted by restless spirits of the executed. In the past, criminals who were hanged at Newgate Prison were buried nearby, and many believe their ghosts now wander the grounds. Misty figures have been seen drifting among the graves, and eerie moans have been heard in the dead of night. Inside the church, visitors have experienced unexplained footsteps, flickering lights, and objects moving on their own. Some have even reported seeing a spectral priest conducting a silent mass before vanishing. With its haunted bell, ghostly executioners, and restless spirits, St. Sepulchre-without-Newgate remains one of London's most terrifying and mysterious churches. Would you dare to step inside and listen for the execution bell? Number 6. St. Dunstan-in-the-West. St. Dunstan-in-the-West, located on London's historic Fleet Street, is one of the city's most haunted churches. With origins dating back to the 10th century, It has survived the Great Fire of London, bombings, and centuries of dark history. Over the years, many ghostly encounters and eerie happenings have been reported, making it one of the most mysterious places in London. One of the most well-known hauntings is that of a shadowy monk who has been seen gliding through the church's dimly lit corridors. Many believe he was a medieval priest with unfinished business. Witnesses have reported hearing faint whispers in Latin and feeling sudden cold chills when passing certain areas of the church. Another terrifying legend is the ghostly clock chimes that ring at strange hours when no one is near the bell tower. Some believe these phantom chimes are linked to souls of the dead, warning of impending misfortune. These eerie sounds have left many visitors unsettled, especially at night. Fleet Street itself has a dark history, once known for public executions and gruesome murders. Some say the spirits of the dead have found their way into St. Dunstan-in-the-West. Unexplained footsteps, ghostly figures, and flickering candlelights have been reported inside the church, even when it is empty. A particularly chilling tale involves a mysterious figure in black who is sometimes seen near the church entrance. Some say it is the ghost of a former parishioner, while others believe it to be an omen of bad luck. People who have encountered this figure describe an overwhelming sense of dread. With its eerie monks, phantom bells, and dark past, St. Dunstan-in-the-West remains one of London's most haunted churches. Would you dare to visit after dark and listen for the ghostly chimes? Number 7. All Hallows-by-the-Tower. All Hallows-by-the-Tower, located near the infamous Tower of London, is one of London's oldest and most haunted churches. Founded in 675 AD, it has witnessed centuries of executions, gruesome deaths, and dark history, making it a hotspot for ghostly activity. One of the most terrifying hauntings is linked to the spirits of executed prisoners from the Tower of London. Since many beheaded victims, including Thomas More and Archbishop Laud, were brought through the church before burial, their ghosts are said to still haunt its halls. People have reported seeing shadowy figures in old-fashioned clothing, often appearing and disappearing without a trace. The church's crypt is another source of eerie encounters. Inside, Roman and Saxon remains lie beneath the floor, and visitors have reported hearing whispers, strange knocks, and ghostly footsteps when no one else is present. Some even claim to feel an unseen presence following them through the dimly lit passageways. One of the most chilling stories is of a ghostly woman in white, believed to be the spirit of a grieving widow who lost her husband to execution. Witnesses describe her appearing near the altar, sobbing softly before fading into thin air. Some believe she is searching for her husband's lost soul. Other paranormal occurrences include unexplained cold spots, flickering lights, and the church bells ringing on their own. Some visitors have also felt an intense feeling of dread, as if unseen eyes are watching them. With its tragic past, execution links, and countless ghost sightings, All Hallows-by-the-Tower remains one of London's most haunted churches. Would you dare to explore its ancient crypt and come face to face with its restless spirits? Number 8. St. Andrew's Church. St. Andrew's Church in Holborn is one of London's oldest and most haunted churches. With origins dating back to the 10th century, it has witnessed plagues, fires, and countless deaths, leaving behind restless spirits and eerie paranormal activity. One of the most famous hauntings is the ghostly figure of a priest seen near the church's crypt. Many believe he was a clergyman who served here centuries ago, and his spirit still lingers. Witnesses described seeing his dark-robed figure standing near the altar, only to vanish when approached. Some have even reported hearing whispers and faint prayers in Latin, even when the church is empty. The church's crypt is particularly notorious for ghostly activity. St. Andrew's once had a large burial ground, and it is believed that the spirits of the dead still roam the area. People visiting the crypt have reported sudden cold chills, the feeling of unseen hands touching them, and shadowy figures moving in the darkness. Some have even claimed to hear faint weeping sounds coming from the tombs. Another terrifying legend is that of a ghostly coach and horses that is said to appear outside the church late at night. This spectral carriage is believed to be connected to a long-dead nobleman whose spirit still roams Holborn. The sound of hooves and rattling wheels have been heard by those walking near the church, even when no carriage is in sight. Visitors and church staff have also reported flickering lights, eerie footsteps, and unexplained organ music playing on its own. Some believe that the spirits of long-departed worshippers still gather here. With its haunted crypt, ghostly priest, and phantom carriage, St. Andrew's Church remains one of London's most mysterious and terrifying churches. Would you dare to explore its dark history? Number 9. St. Giles-in-the-Fields. St. Giles-in-the-Fields, located near Covent Garden, is one of the most haunted churches in London. With a history dating back to the 12th century, it has witnessed plagues, executions, and dark tragedies. Known as the Plague Church, it was once a burial ground for thousands of plague victims whose restless spirits are said to still haunt the area. One of the most terrifying hauntings is the ghost of the plague victim. Visitors have reported seeing a pale, sickly figure wrapped in a tattered shroud, wandering through the graveyard. Some claim to hear faint coughing and moaning, as if the spirit is still suffering from the deadly disease. Others have felt an unexplained chill when passing through the churchyard at night. Another chilling legend involves the restless souls of the gallows. In the 17th and 18th centuries, criminals were hanged at the nearby St. Giles Gallows, and their bodies were sometimes brought to the church. Witnesses have reported seeing shadowy figures hanging from invisible ropes or hearing the creaking sound of gallows wood. Some believe these are the ghosts of executed prisoners, forever trapped in their moment of death. Inside the church, phantom footsteps and ghostly whispers have been heard, even when the building is empty. Some visitors have seen a spectral priest standing at the altar, only to vanish into thin air. Others have reported flickering candles and eerie organ music playing on its own. With its haunted graveyard, plague-ridden spirits, and ghostly executions, St. Giles-in-the-Fields is one of London's most terrifying churches. Many believe its dark history has left an imprint of sorrow and tragedy, making it a true hotspot for paranormal activity. Would you dare to walk among its restless spirits? Number 10. Christ Church, Spitalfields. Christ Church, Spitalfields, standing in London's East End since the early 18th century, is not only one of the city's most iconic churches, but also one of its most haunted. With a dark history filled with mysterious burials, body snatching, and a connection to the infamous Jack the Ripper murders, this church has become a hotspot for paranormal activity. One of the most chilling hauntings is the ghost of a weeping woman seen near the crypt. Witnesses describe her as a sorrowful figure in Victorian clothing, wandering through the churchyard before vanishing into thin air. Some believe she was a grieving mother who lost her child, or a victim of the Ripper, still searching for peace. The church's crypt, which once held thousands of bodies, is said to be one of the most haunted parts of the building. Strange noises, whispers, and the feeling of being watched have been reported by those who enter. Some have even seen shadowy figures moving in the darkness, believed to be the spirits of the disturbed dead. Perhaps the most terrifying legend is that of the ghostly figure seen inside the church itself. Many have reported seeing a dark, hooded presence standing near the altar late at night. Some say it is the spirit of a former clergyman, while others believe it is something far more sinister. Adding to the eerie atmosphere, reports of phantom footsteps, flickering lights, and unexplained cold spots have been common for years. Paranormal investigators claim to have recorded strange voices and ghostly apparitions in the church. With its haunted crypt, ghostly weeping woman, and eerie connections to London's darkest past, Christ Church, Spitalfields remains one of the most terrifying places in the city. Would you dare to visit its shadowy halls after dark?